Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. First, I want to say thank you for for everyone that continues to show their support when I do these videos. They help me as well, and it helps me to voice, kind of voice how I feel. But what I come to realize is that sometimes how I feel may be how you feel as well. So I'm taking comfort in knowing that I may be helping some of you all, and just the fact that you take the time to listen to me means a lot. So today I wanted to talk about showing up for yourself. And this is something I've been practicing by trying to be consistent. But before I get into that, I want to tell a quick little story about something that happened this morning between me and my daughter Rebecca. I was yesterday when I went to pick her up for school. She was crying, just really, just crying, just sobbing, I should say. And I asked the teacher. I was like, "What's wrong with her?" So the teacher said she um she forgot, she doesn't know where her mask is. So she told the teacher that I'm going to be really upset, and that's why she was sobbing. So she didn't want to get in the car, she didn't want to do anything. So this morning, as we were driving to school, I was driving her to school. I reminded her, I said, Rebecca, you have to keep your mask on, because if you don't, it's going to be, it's going to affect a lot of people. Mommy's going to be sick, daddy's going to be sick, and everybody that we go around is going to be, may get sick. So she was like, well, okay, I'll do that. And then she said, you know what, mommy? God has the power to take remove this COVID, but he's just waiting for everybody to be better. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She said, I just mean everybody has to be better before he will move it. And I was so taken by her comment. So I was like, where did you hear that? She said, I just thought about it. I just said it. So, I was, I don't know where she heard it, or she just really just came up with that, but I just thought about her words and how, she said everybody just has to be better. And even in her simplicity, when you take a deep dive, that's real. I feel like that's kind of the message too. Like, take this time to be better, to better yourself, to just, change some habits that you had before. So, with that, I am going to talk about consistency today. So, I have been practicing consistency. With this pandemic, it's affected all of our lives, from the upper class, the lower class, the middle class, just everybody. So we are all in the same ocean, riding a different wave, and we've all had to adjust our lives, but we're doing it, you know. But I know trying to stay motivated through all these changes and through all these adjustments that we're making can be challenging and even exhausting. And taking into consideration, you may be going through real life events like deaths in your family, financial struggles, relationship struggles, personal health issues. You yourself may even have contracted the virus or are dealing with the virus. So I say that to say this is why taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health, it's important. And that's something we need to kind of nurture. And I talk about that because I, you know, mo- I've said on here before that, I transitioned from one place to another, and I really kind of let myself go because I was so overwhelmed with the process, so um there's a reason we hear so much about being consistent and being and motivating ourselves. We pre-COVID, we had outlets, we had ways to deal with, to cope, right? Even if they weren't the most effective ways, they were still ways that we used to cope. And we had ways. It would we had ways to get around dealing with it, different situations or whatever. But the stress of the pandemic amplified things for us because we can no longer run to the place where we find refuge. We have to figure out how to deal with our issues in the space that we're in. So, and with the outlets that we had, like the gym, salsa. I used to salsa all the time. I love salsa dancing. And, even if you went to church, all of those places are no longer accessible to us. And it increases some of us it increases our ability to cope. I mean, decreases, I should say. It lowers the way we cope. We may need to be out of a certain space to really deal with the situation to come back to it. And we don't have that. So today, what I wanted to kind of remind each and every one of us to do, which is something I'm doing for myself now, is it's simple, but we really have to take care of our bodies and make the quality of our lives important to us. Show up for yourself and do this by starting with small steps. Start with small steps towards your fitness, towards your wellness, towards your health, towards your mental health. This week I listened to several podcasts, and it was kind of amazing to me how all of the messages that I heard kind of really tied into where I was going today, or what I wanted to talk about today. I listened to Lewis House's podcast. He had a guest on there called Rich Roll, and Rich Roll made a comment that resonated with me. He said, keep your word to yourself just like you would for anyone else. And I thought that was so profound because we go out of our way to keep our word for others, but we don't honor our word to ourselves, and we dishonor ourselves in so many ways. And it's we don't do it on purpose. We're just so used to making sure we show up for other people that we take for granted that we need to show up for ourselves as well. And when we can honor ourselves, it really improves the quality of our lives and the quality of our relationships, all of our relationships, though, our professional, our personal, our spiritual, all of those, our social relationships. It really does. And my encouragement is not to wait until you're in a situation where you're forced to show up for yourself. Like you get diagnosed with an illness, or you know just something like that. Just show up for yourself now while you're able. This is a good time to prioritize, to sit down and really kind of break down, how you're going to prioritize making this change to show up for yourself. And that's what I had to sit down and do. I just had to start over. I get up, I actually use a calendar and I schedule out my workouts, how much time I'm gonna do for work. I'm not always successful with it, but I am making the effort, and I'm trying to stay consistent. And I've been doing very well. Even when I don't make the cut, I just, regroup and come back. And it's not always an easy thing to do. It really isn't. But we if we stay consistent, it will really bleed over into everything else that we do. and and that's the same with taking care of your health, and your well-being. It's no different. If you don't take care of yourself first, mentally, emotionally, physically, it becomes more challenging for you to be there for anyone else. You have to first show up for yourself. On the when we get on a plane, they instruct us to put our mask on first before we try to help others, or before we put somebody else's on. So when you're tired, overwhelmed, and you have nothing left to give, you know, this translates into negative self talk, frustration, low self-worth, anger, just all the negative things. And it's also a depiction of, you know, not showing up for you. You know, this is why you want to take some time. Take a walk. You know, there's so many health benefits in just walking, you know, and you don't have to start off by jumping into a gym and doing all that stuff. If you have dumbbells or light equipment, start at home with that. If you have no equipment, start with a walk, start with a run, a slow jog. And you know, for your emotional health, take some time to like really disconnect, even if it's just for 10 minutes from screen time and all that stuff. For your nutrition, I would start slow, you know. um I've actually switched my diet to vegan, and it's a process for me because I started it last maybe a year or two ago, and I got off of the plan, and I really felt the effects of introducing meat back into my diet. I actually ended up having a I don't know if everybody knew that I have ulcerative colitis, and I'd been in remission for about 13 years. And I actually had a episode, a flare, you know, recently because my diet was off. You know, what I was doing wasn't right. So I decided I was just going to go immerse myself fully into being vegan. That's my choice, you know. But for you, if you want to, and this is all just recommendations, you know, if you want to start to be healthy, start with small changes. Maybe if you drink a lot of soda, cut the soda out, introduce water into your diet, introduce more fruits and vegetables, start eating more whole foods, you know, more um complex carbs like whole wheat bread, oatmeal, all that stuff. Introduce the good stuff and nurture and nourish your body that way. Um, um, my encouragement, honestly, is just to show up for yourself. Commit to move more in some way. Like I said, you can walk, dance, swim, whatever you like to do, and make it fun. Make it something that you do like to do. You know, um, I'm sorry. Just decide that your health and your well-being is worth your time and energy. Decide that you're worth it, and that you deserve to be the best version of yourself in all aspects of your life, emotionally, physically, mentally, socially. You know, and this is what I would suggest. That's good, Sean Danae. Like seriously, it's just small steps. It's not about, you know, taking a deep dive and then feeling disappointed because you messed up. No, you know, don't dwell on the mess up. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna get it next time. And even if you have to scale back, scale back. Start with a small number, like 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, you know. So this is how I've been trying to stay consistent. I made the decision that I want I just don't want to look like I'm healthy. I want to feel healthy. I want to, you know, feel alive. I want to, you know, really embrace what I look like. And I got a notebook out and I write out what matters, why it matters, and what difference I thought it would make for me. And I would challenge you to do the same. You know, why is this important to you? Why is being healthy important to you? And it doesn't matter what your reasons are. It's your reasons. It's why you want to be healthy. It's why you want to feel better about yourself. And just make a plan. You know, say I'm going to start with 10 minutes today and take it one step at a time. Don't look at a month from now, or you know, not even 2 weeks. Day by day, so you can actually really meet those goals and make them so that you can achieve them and you can reach them. You know, don't try to do too much too fast. The biggest thing that I want to say is celebrate it. This week, I am celebrating the fact that I stuck to my workouts all week. I started a while back, but I stuck to my records all week this week because, and I'm celebrating it because there were days that I just was too tired. I didn't feel like it. You know, I was just exhausted. I'm doing a whole bunch of things, as I know, like most of us are, but I stuck to it. And so today, Friday, I'm happy because I feel good about being consistent. So week one that I'm now paying attention, I did it. You know, so celebrate those small wins and be patient. Be patient with yourself. If you didn't make it this week, we try again. We try again. This is why you want to start with small goals and build up to bigger ones. Be kind to yourself. Um, one of my biggest pet peeves is people talking bad about themselves, you know, like, and this really offends me when I won't say offend. I don't know if offend is the right word, but it's hard on me because I don't know how to respond. Um, well, I know now, so I'll just say it. So when people say to me, I'm fat or I'm ugly or, you know, I don't like myself, I'm now able to come back and like, you know, first, my first response sometimes, like, don't say that, you know, that's not nice. But talk it when we speak nicely and kindly to ourselves, it really boosts our self-esteem. But we have to start doing that for ourselves. Don't rely on people to tell us, oh, you look good or you look beautiful today. Tell yourself that before, you know, be aware of your thoughts because they become your actions. And the same is true whether it's a good thought or a bad thought. If you have good thoughts, you will feel good. If you have negative thoughts, that's how you're going to feel. It's going to dictate how you carry yourself throughout that day, throughout your life. So I appreciate you guys, you know, just tuning in to listen to me. And I want to challenge you this week. Move, move in some way and make small nutrition changes. You know, I encourage you to take it one day at a time. And yes, speak life into yourself. It is true. You know, take it one day at a time. And if you need some motivation, just text me on my page. Like, I want to know how you're doing. I do want to know how you guys are doing, how this resonated with you, if you even took the steps. And if you don't want to comment on my page, just send me an inbox. You know, I want to support you on this journey. So, you know, that's my challenge to you for this upcoming week or even for this weekend. Let's do that for this weekend. Get out and walk and make one small change to your diet, you know, and don't beat yourself up. Celebrate your win. If you set a plan today to do something tomorrow and you did it, celebrate it, and then let that push you to do it the next day and the next day, you know. So like I said, just small changes and try to be consistent. You know, consistency is the goal. For anything that you do, it is the goal. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining me and thank you for just going back and forth with me. And I appreciate you taking time to listen to me today. Have a great weekend and I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Okay. Bye.